Let's learn something new today.
It is not easy to illegally enter the United States because you're going to need people that. It is not easy to illegally enter the United States because you're going to need people that know the routes. You're going to need people that can traverse the terrain and get you into the country without you getting killed. So let's talk about this, how they encounter these illegal aliens, right? So here's how it goes, right? There's a couple of ways that law enforcement encounters these people. Let's start with the first way. When an illegal alien comes to the United States, most illegal aliens that come to the United States, guys, come in through what's called a human smuggling organization, all right? And when they come in through a human smuggling organization, what that basically means is, and this is most illegal aliens, like 90% plus, they're coming in through a human smuggling organization. Why? Because it is not easy to illegally enter the United States, right? You're gonna need resources to get in. Why? Because you're gonna need people that know the routes, you're gonna need people that can traverse the terrain and get you into the country without you getting killed, right? Because for many that don't know, most of the U.S. border is like rural land, right? And very difficult terrain, all right? So what ends up happening is, let's say you're a guy, and I'm going to make this nice and simple. Let's say you're a guy in Mexico, and you want to come to the United States, right? Well, you contact the dude. Hey, buddy, right? Give him a quick ring. Hey, I want to go to the United States. How do I go about that? He puts you in touch with a smuggler, right? Smuggler tells you, hey, come to Mexico City. We'll start the process. So you pay the smuggler, you go to Mexico City, you meet him, he puts you on a bus, right? He might let you stay at his house for a day or two. He puts you on a bus, that bus takes you up north to a Nuevo Laredo, right? Nuevo Laredo, just so I can go ahead and put this on a map for you guys so you guys can visualize what I'm talking about here. So you go here, right? So this is where I was assigned when I was an agent, right? I was in Laredo, Texas. So let's say you're from fucking Veracruz, right? Let's say you're from Veracruz, right? Down here, right? And you're like, yo, I want to get to the United States. I want to get to San Antonio, right? So you call your buddy, right? He says, hey, I got you, and meet my guy in Mexico City. So you take a bus, you go to Mexico City. Boom, you're in Mexico City now, right? This is a huge staging location for smugglers, right? Once you get here, you pay a fee, and then he puts you on a bus, and he gets you up through Mexico. Then you end up here in
What? Shut up.
Nuevo Laredo, right? And you're right on the border. And as you guys can see, there's a bunch of border towns, right? You go, like Reynosa is the big one from McAllen, right? You go all the way down here to Brownsville. Matamoros is the big one for for Brownsville, Texas. Then you go to, let's say, oh my God, Rio Bravo. This place is fucking terrible. Oh my God, I'm getting flashbacks. Okay, then you got like El Paso is right across from Juarez, right? Juarez is where your boy El Chapo is from. So the point is that you're paying a smuggler, right, to get you to a border town, right, or a border town on the Mike side, the Mexican side. Once you get here, right, you deal with the next leg of the organization. The organization is going to charge you, right, another fee, not only to stage you here in Nuevo Laredo, but to facilitate your safe entry into the United States. Okay? And many times you'll be here for weeks, right, in Nuevo Laredo, because they move aliens periodically. They can't just cross them all at the same time. They have to periodically move them. So what end up happening is, this is like the bottleneck point. So you'll get here, you'll be at a stash house waiting, like right across from the river from one of these smugglers in Nuevo Laredo. And when your day comes, they'll put you in a group of like 10 or 20 aliens, and then you get smuggled into the United States, right? You go across the Rio Grande River, and then bam, next thing you know, you're in Laredo, Texas. You're in the United States. But once you make it through into Laredo, whether you come in through Laredo or you come in here in the brush, like all this rural area here, right? You need to get picked up. Who do you get picked up by? You get picked up by a driver, right? Now that driver is going to pick you up on one of these highways, whether it's, 359, 59, 83, whatever it may be, right? And they're going to take you to a stash house, because the number one thing they want to do, once they get you into the United States, is get you up north and get you to a stash house, all right? So once you get into one of these stash houses here in Laredo, or Rio Bravo, or El Cenizo, or one of these like areas, right? These little rinky-dink towns all across the Mexican border. They're going to get you ready for the next leg of your trip, right? Where they're now going to get you past what is called the functional equivalent of the border, okay? Now, for many of you guys that live in Texas, Arizona, etc., there's many U.S. Border Patrol checkpoints, okay? Some of you guys in South Texas and Arizona and the border states, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about, right? There's Border Patrol checkpoints. What is a Border Patrol checkpoint? A Border Patrol checkpoint is an area where Border Patrol sets up and does a immigration inspection. I'll give you guys an example of what one of these things look like. You go Charlie 29, Lorraine.
Okay, so far I'm getting it. Boom, the people from the country, boom, set up to the. I didn't know that they had cities that were literally same highways that go in and out of the United States and into Mexico. Damn. So, as a U.S. citizen, you can easily go in and out, but as a Mexican citizen, it's gonna be hard. Damn, because some of those was. It looked like one of those cities was literally cross the border at the same time on both sides. That shit was crazy. Yeah, a lot of these cities literally are on both sides. So you mean to tell me that half the city is in Mexico and then half the city is in the United States? Okay. All right. What kind of city is that? I ain't gonna lie to you. I would love to maybe even visit a place like that just to see the culture of how they go about that. Half the top half is the United States and half the bottom half is Mexico. That's crazy. Okay.
Wait, El Chapo. One of these things will look like, right? So this is the Border Patrol checkpoint right here. A lot of these checkpoints look like this, where it's about 30 miles away from the U.S. border, right? And everything 30 miles in, guys, is considered almost like the functional equivalent of a border. So think of it this way. It's like Border Patrol's last chance to do immigration inspections on people coming north. So this is on Interstate Highway 35, right? And Interstate Highway 35 is right here. So Interstate 35 right here. So this highway, about 29 miles up north, you're going to get into right here, right around here, right before Ensenada, right around here. You're going to hit that checkpoint, right? About 29 miles north. Then if you pass it, then it's a straight shot to San Antonio. Now, the smugglers, not only do they need to get you across the border, they need to get you past the Border Patrol checkpoint and get you to the first major U.S. city. 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be San Antonio, Texas, or Houston. Right? Why? Because these cities, they have major highways going through them that can get you to wherever you need to go. So if they can get you past Ensenada and past that Border Patrol checkpoint, they pretty much got you, you're good. Why is that? Because Border Patrol, you're not going to see them 30 miles past the U.S. border. Okay? And they're really the only uniformed presence that actively go looking for illegal aliens that have been smuggled into the country. So if you make it through, you're good. Right? Now, this, my friends, is how 80-90% of illegal aliens that come into the United States enter the United States. They illegally enter through the southwest border. Right? Now, we talked about how land border crossings go. Let's talk about Maritime. We cooking tonight, chat, all right? Now, the other side. This, again, literally, this is my expertise. Now you got Miami here, right? Another way that a lot of illegal aliens come into the United States is coming in through boat, right? So what'll happen a lot of the times is they'll have illegal aliens, right? We'll go back, reverse the situation. Let's say you're an illegal alien and you want to go to the United States, but you don't want to go through Mexico. You want to come in through Miami, right? What'll happen is you'll take a flight to, somewhere here in the Caribbean, right? Let's say Dominican Republic. Then from Dominican Republic, you'll go to Cuba. Then from Cuba, you'll go to the Bahamas, right? Now, the Bahamas, specifically, this area right here. So these little islands here, right, are not far from the United States, right? Freeport, all this is the Bahamas, right? Now, the Bahamas, guys, is typically Nassau, etc. The Bahamas, guys, is typically where illegal aliens come into the United States through Miami or through West Palm Beach, etc. Now, maritime smuggling is a little bit different because what will happen is a boat captain will take their boat over to the Bahamas, right? He'll pick up the illegal aliens and then he'll stash them in the bottom of his boat somewhere, right? And then he'll come into Fort Lauderdale, Miami, West Palm Beach, Delray Beach, Port St. Lucie, any of these areas here along the coast. And maritime smuggling works very similarly. It's just that there's not as many hands that need to touch the illegal aliens. The aliens will wait in the Bahamas until it's time to be moved, and then the captain comes, picks them up, and then bam, he just turns and goes and brings them back into the United States through South Florida. Right? That's how maritime smuggling works. It's a little bit simpler than smuggling on the ground. But obviously, right, you can't move as many aliens because the Coast Guard is all over the place. here, right? Bimini is the big one. Alistown, Port Royal, all these areas captains often go to pick up illegal aliens and then come. You see Key Biscayne here, etc. So that is how maritime smuggling works, guys. Maritime smuggling versus smuggling on the southwest border. All right? So if you guys got questions, go ahead and hit me up. That was a very simplified way how human smuggling works, guys. But it's a very sophisticated organization. Now that illegal aliens, right, now we know how they get in. Once they get in, guys, if they're apprehended, right, at the border or by Coast Guard or whatever, what ends up happening is they'll be processed. And when they're processed, chat, that generates what's called an alien number. And when you get an alien number, right, you're basically in the system and you get put to go see a judge, an immigration judge, right? And immigration court and criminal court are two different things, chat, right? Immigration world has its own system, okay? Anyway, how much are the aliens paying? That depends on where they're from. So typically, guys, the more exotic the illegal alien is, whether they're from China, Arab country, whatever, they pay a lot more. Like Chinese pay like 60,000 guys to get smuggled into the United States.
God.
Like 60K.
Damn.
Right? So illegal aliens that get into the United States, right, and then they hit the immigration system. So what ends up happening with a lot of these aliens, guys, is once they hit the immigration system, they have a date to go see the judge, right? And when they get processed, they have to put a good address for themselves. So in some cases, the aliens actually are at the address that they claim that they're supposed to be at. But other times, and this is most of the time, they just go out into the wind. Now, a lot of the times, when illegal aliens are apprehended, right, like you guys can see here with ERO doing all these raids, etc., they've identified one illegal alien that's here or one alien, because right now they're prioritizing criminal aliens, chat. So these guys that they're picking up have been through the system, whether they've been arrested by the law enforcement before, they've been encountered, maybe the detainer was issued for them, but they didn't get on. All these people they're picking up now have been in the system before, they've been arrested, so they're there. All these people they're picking up. Right now they're focusing on going after criminal aliens. Right? And to be honest with y'all, that's really the only thing they're going to focus on. I'm going to be a million with you guys. They're not going to do the mass deportations they promised during the campaign. It's just not possible. They don't have the resources to do it. So what they are going to do is they're going to focus on going after these criminal aliens. That's why you guys see all these press releases, right, from ICE saying, oh, we took down these individuals that are criminal aliens. See? 3 DUIs, unlawful reentering, felony drug possession, etc. You guys can see here on the thing. So that's why they're prioritizing illegal aliens. But either way, you guys get what I'm trying to say here, right?
Yeah, I get it. Damn, okay. I never really dived deep or even thought of this situation. I did have an ex-girlfriend who went through this exact scenario. And I mean this exact thing, were being smuggled, etc. She said you couldn't even drink water or had to eat or any of that shit. And it was crazy. So, yeah, man. I wish we had a system in which they can get here. If they want to be here, boom, you can come in, prove that you want to be an American. Whatever that stipulation is going to be, I don't know the political things of it, etc. But whatever that stipulation is going to be, prove that you actually want to be here, work hard, stay out of trouble, learn about our systems, our morals, our rules, our way of life, be here for a long time, 10 years or whatever amount of years, without any trouble, without anything, then yeah, fuck it. Who cares? If you're a productive member of society and you a good person, etc., you're a hardworking person, and you're going to contribute to our society, why not? But if you're going to do fucking drugs and all this other crazy extra shit, nah, get them out of here. Out of here. They got to go. Gots to go. So I do think we need a stronger border for sure. It shouldn't be no smuggling whatsoever. But it should also be a lot easier for people that's going to be productive members of society to come and stay here and prove themselves. That's my take on this. But yeah, man. We learned something new today. You know what I mean? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, you already know where to find me. And I'm out. Carrying on.